So if you can grade yourself,
I wouldn't bullshit it. Yeah.
You know, I kind of wish Christmas would just go home. I'm so done. So done with Christmas. This Christmas season needs to wrap it up. We had Christmas. Christmas is over. Sorry. Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the South. More specifically, we are in Celebration, Florida. And, yeah, what a crappy Christmas season it's been. What a crappy week it's been. Yeah. I didn't know what I was gonna do today. I had a choice of I was set to check out of my hotel today. I had a choice to book another night or to check out. And I checked out. I've decided to start heading homeward. I came down here because I felt like it was the right thing to do. When I heard Adam passed, I decided to come down because I wanted to be here. I wanted just to be as near to him and his vibe as I could be, to remember to celebrate him. And I wanted to be down here where there would be other people that knew him on a similar level to me, and that I think coming down here was definitely the right decision. Last night was very nice. I met up with 5 other people. Yeah, 5. And they were all people, all content creators, all people that knew Adam on a personal level. Different personal levels. People that had known him, people that had known him longer than me, people that had only known him a year or so, and and in between, the 6 of us ran the gambit. The 6 of us, we had different came from different backgrounds, different interests. So each of us had almost like a different way that we had met Adam, a different interest that we shared with him, and it was great just for all 6 of us to be able to tell stories, to be able to share good times, to be able to laugh with Adam. And I remember telling some stories last night. I was just talking about how Adam could talk me into just about anything with very little prompting, and some people had some very similar memories. This is the Celebration movie theater, and Adam always it always drove him crazy that this wasn't open, that this had just not been used as a movie theater. It's one of those beautiful theaters. That's like Art Deco theater here, built by Disney. And but anyways, I was saying Adam could always talk me into something, and I think it was just his enthusiasm was so infectious. He's and I've talked about before, it was always climb on the back of that statue, climb on the back of there's a bear, like a statue of a bear. I'll crawl on the back of the bear. And it just, you almost didn't even question it. It was just we were so wrapped up in the moment, so excited by that infectious excitement, that infectious energy. Everything would seem like a good idea. Everything would seem hilarious in the moment. I think that's, you know, it's a lot of what Adam did. Like, a lot of his charm just came from him, just doing things to amuse himself, doing things that he thought was funny. I mean, and I think that's I think if you want to entertain other people, one of the best things to do is just entertain yourself and invite them to laugh with you. Like a fountain. Oh yeah, points that way to Walt Disney World in different locations: Burbank, St. Petersburg, Boston, Cape Canaveral. Oh, the mood shifted. Why is this water like slightly yellow? And I found this is all kind of a new experience for me, losing someone suddenly, someone close to me. I got kind of my first like deep taste of it earlier this year. August, my stepfather passed away, and I'd lost several grandparents before that, but this is the first like sudden loss of someone that was like this level of closeness to me. And you know, the grieving processes with my stepdad, it was completely different. My stepdad, you know, he had cancer for like 2.5 years. It was horrible. It was horrible watching. It was one of the most painful things to watch. But you kind of grieve while they're still, you grieve with them. You get like almost, it's not like you say goodbye, like I know you're dying, goodbye, but you kind of understand. There's an understanding that it's, that time is limited. You know, with Adam, no idea that was the way it was going to be. So I'm kind of learning as I go what this really feels like and what this process really involves. And you know, from everyone I've talked to, it's something that I've been very fortunate in not losing people, but up until now. But I think people say, you know, it lasts forever. You know, it gets easier, but it's always hard. And it's been an absolute whirlwind of emotions. And you know, it's interesting. Like, of course, at first when you find out, you miss, you know, the big things, the things that stand out, the things that person known for, the big major overarching memories that you have of that individual person. But I think, you know, within the last couple days, like, it's really like the small things that you start to think about, like, you know, like Adam's laugh. I know it was a couple of, you know, different people that knew him talk about, you know, his laugh. And the I'm trying to think, like, I don't know if he did this, you know, probably not, because he always had a camera in his hand when he was filming. But like, one thing Adam always did, like when he had a good laugh, you know, if he told a joke or someone else told, you know, something he thought was funny, he'd do a big clap out in front of him. He'd clap his hands together. He'd often clap his hands together, and then he would like poke you with his elbow. Like, that's, man, like that's what I don't know, for some reason that's like what I've been thinking about this morning, is just his big laugh, his clap, getting elbowed by him when he was cracking up. Yeah. And it's, I feel incredibly fortunate. You know, the circle of goodness that Adam talked about. You know, the good that he put out in the world, the things that he gave, and the things that, you know, came back to him, and you know, the goodness he put out there that was shared with other people, and it's come back, and it's made this process easier for me just seeing the joy that he gave people, to see all the lives he touched, and for those people that knew him, those people that were touched by him, whether they knew him, whether they didn't know him, whether they're touched by him, those people have been a comfort to me. I am overwhelmed by the support. I was when I left Indiana, I wasn't sure. I knew I wanted to talk about him. I knew I wanted to go see and do things we had done together, and just pay respects to him. But I was nervous. Nervous that people would take it the wrong way. I don't want people to ever think that I would be trying to capitalize off my friend's death. And I think the vast majority of people understand that. They understand that he was a big part of my life. I'm not the kind of person that's good at pretending that everything's okay. And I knew I couldn't spend the past, to me personally, and I think every content creator is having to navigate this and figure out the best way to go about it. But just for me personally, it would be very hard for me to go to Disney, to go to the House of Presidents, and just pretend I'm just there, I'm just happy, I'm just happy to be here. I think all I'm thinking about is Adam right now. And so I think in the past couple days, I think that's been pretty clear in my output, that he's the only thing I'm thinking about. And I'm glad you guys appreciate that and understand that with what I'm doing. I'm trying to celebrate. We're in celebration. Trying to celebrate Adam, for who he was and the impact that he had on me and on everyone else that he touched. Remember, he would come out here sometimes. He'd see the little alligator, Cool. I think he called him Cool the alligator. It's really cold today, so probably not alligator weather. The streets are clear here. I think they do some sort of holiday celebration. Speaking of holidays, today is December 30th. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, so this will be going out there. You guys will, if you watch this the day it comes out, it'll be New Year's Eve. So what does that mean? As far as this year, I've talked about it. This year, the last few months, has been marked by a lot of loss. Losing my stepfather, Keith, losing my friend Adam. Probably what I'll remember this year for. But it's kind of a double-sided coin, because as hard as my personal life, my loved ones, it has been so hard. But as far as this channel and the videos I've filmed, I don't think I could be prouder of what I put out, of the content I put out this year. I feel like it's just life. It's just life. There's horrible things. There's great things. Rarely is everything all bad or all good. It's, we call this the 2025, the year of planes, trains, and automobiles. I think I announced it probably a year ago that's what this year was going to be. And I really pushed myself, to get out there and do things and really put it into the next year. I started out the year experiencing train travel for the first time, and it really has become a part, in a short period of time, it's become part of who I am and part of what's going to happen on this channel. And that's funny, you know, I give the years names. We had you know, the summer of carousels was 2023. 2024 was the year of press pennies, and 2025 the year of planes, trains, and automobiles. So, you know, carousels, I still write carousels. Press pennies, I still collect press pennies just as much as I did in the year of press pennies. And I think planes, trains, and automobiles, it's not like every year it just gets absorbed into what I do. The trains have become a big deal to me. I want to do more train travel. I have a big train trip later this spring that I had to book in advance because it was hard to get tickets. And it's exciting. That's exciting. You know, opened up a whole world to me, the train travel. And this, like, the other travels this year, you know, going to Hawaii and Alaska in this year, you know, Adam was a big inspiration for that. Adam, you know, he it's funny. He told me he was going international, and that's so funny. It's so funny because I remember the last time I saw him in person, he was like, you know, I'm going to be winding things down a little bit, going into kind of semi-retirement. He said, I'm still probably going to film a little bit, but it's going to be like in a podcast form, do a little podcasting. That way he doesn't feel he has to go out all the time. And then I get a text message that says, I'm going full international next year. I'm like, okay, I guess retirement's canceled. And that's how he was. He got ideas, and he got big ideas. And when he got a big idea, he followed through with it. And then I remember him telling me, he's like, I'm going to do Alaska in November before the end of the year. And I said, so I immediately knew. I knew when he said that. I'm like, okay, so basically you wanted to visit all 50 states before you went international. He's like, yeah, exactly. We were on the same wavelength with that. And the same thing. I had been holding off doing international travel because I wanted to finish the United States first, just like him. And he actually invited me to come to Alaska with him, which it's funny because he later told me, he's like, dude, it's a good thing you didn't come. He said that wasn't a good buddy trip. That was because, you know, the idea of going to Alaska in November was insane, and I probably would have done it, and I can't even recall now, but I had me and Jen had something planned in November. It would have been in November of last year that he went. I don't remember. We had something important planned. It escapes me at the moment what exactly that was, but yeah, I don't know. I wish I would have gone. Like, obviously, you know, it kind of sucks to me knowing that I could have spent a little more time with him and been with him on his trip to Alaska, and that it could have been, you know, we could have done that together. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. There is some heavy security around this nativity scene, and I understand why, so please do not touch. They have this fence. They have a glass bulletproof shield in front of the manger. You got to protect these. You got to protect your nativities because people are really bad to steal baby Jesuses. It's like a real hooligan thing to do. All the hooligans want their own baby Jesus as a trophy. So you got to seal them up good here. Probably got cameras pointed here as well. No one's taken baby Jesus this year. And I apologize if I'm not making like an abundance of sense that I know I'm kind of going all over the place here with what I'm talking about. So yeah, Adam, inspired me to, finish up those 50 states. So I got a chance this year, and to visit Alaska and Hawaii. And this is crazy. Like, I even thought about, like, I've been to so many states. I did the big road trips. I did the Pacific Coast Highway. I did Route 1, so did both coasts. Did road trips to both coasts. Went to the northernmost point of the U.S., down to Key West to the southernmost point. And so I visited a lot of states, and I was like, did I visit every state in 2025? And the answer is no, I did not. But I did some calculations. I looked at past videos, and you can find a 365-day period, not 1 year, but overlapping from 2024 into 2025, where I visited all 50 states in a 365. So within a year, within 365 days, I visited all 50 states without realizing or trying to do it. So if that says something about my malfunction, but I managed to do that. So that was just like a surprise achievement unlocked that I didn't even mean to unlock. And I've always, like, with the international travel, it's always been something that really, really worried me. Just being out of my element, not speaking the language of the country I'm in, just really scary. Just not knowing the rules. I know in America, I know what my rights are, what I'm allowed to film, where I'm allowed to go. I don't know in other countries. I don't know the laws. I don't know the laws. So, that worried me. But talking to Adam is sure. He told me, he's like, man, it's so international is so much fun. You got to do it sometime. And so we've made decisions. Me and Jen. I never like to promise things or say things are definitely going to happen. My gosh, what I used to always say is, I'm going to do this unless I die. That was something my daughter said once as a little kid, that you should never say you're going to do something because you never know. No one knows when they're going to die. So when you say something, you should say, she was a little kid when she said this, when you say something, you should say, well, I'm going to go do that unless I die. And so, yeah, I know, a little morbid talk about that right now. But I think Adam would agree. I have plans. I've put some plans into place for next year for 2026. And one of those plans is to travel internationally. I've spoken a little bit about this, not like all at once, but the plan, me and Jen have booked a flight. We are planning on going. The plan is to go to England and France in one trip, and we haven't booked anything except the plane tickets at this point. Was waiting to the beginning of the year to book everything else, to get everything booked up. But that's the plan. International travel for next year. In April, we have plane tickets in April to go to England and France. I think maybe over 2 weeks. I forget exactly. 2 weeks or so. I think it's 2 weeks that we planned. So I don't know. I would know very little about those two countries. One thing I really, really, really want to do, this is important to me, is to visit Disneyland in Paris. That is the last thing me and Adam ever communicated about. Me and Adam didn't talk a lot on the phone. Neither one of us are people that like to sit and chat on the phone. So we always sent text messages generally. And like the last text message he sent me was he was at Disneyland Paris, and he's like, man, you are gonna love it so much here. You need to make a point of getting out here at some point. And so I really want to go there. I already wanted to go there, and just knowing how much Adam loved it and what a big impression he told me. He said this is like going to Disney back in the 90s. It's like, like a time warp. So that's going to be a big part of the plans, if they happen like they're supposed to. Got a little bit of fake ice skating set up for this evening. Now, another thing I want to do for the first time this year, and we have tickets purchased. I don't know if it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. I'm waiting to hear, what's going on here in Florida as far as there's going to be a memorial for Adam, or when that's going to be. It's not been decided at this point. But me and Jen have tickets to be on a cruise ship. I have never been on a cruise ship. There was points in my life I never ever wanted to go on a cruise ship. It sounded horrible. It sounded like something that I would never want to do in a million years. But I've warmed up to it in the years. Jen has been watching some cruise content on YouTube and sharing it with me. And I'm up for a new experience. I'm always up for a new experience. So I may hate it. I may be one and done with cruise ships, but a lot of people seem to like it. It's one of those things where I'm like, is this just an excuse to drink massive amounts of alcohol? That's one of the reasons I just didn't want to be on a ship, floating at sea, trapped on a ship full of drunkards. But Jen has assured me and showed me that they do cool things. They make stops. They stop on islands. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about just seeing the ship and being on such a big freaking ship. Just experiencing that I'm looking forward to. And, some island stopping and ports. It seems fun. It's a whole different type of tourism that I have never partaken in. And I have partaken in a lot of tourism. Tourism is my blood. And so I think it's a new experience. I don't know if I'll like it, but I'm excited to find out if I will like it. And a lot of people ask me, like, do you ever regret going to an attraction, going to a theme park, or going, what is there anyone that really regretted going? And no, because at least then I know if I like it. I've had the experience. Now, the question may be, have you ever been to a attraction or theme park that you'll never go back to? Yes, definitely. But I've never regretted going and experiencing something for the first time. So I doubt I will regret going on a cruise ship. May never do it again, but it's something to experience. And now I know what a lot of people have been asking is, paying respects to Adam by doing some of the things that he had planned. He had a massive year planned. He wanted to do a bunch of road trips, like by car. That was kind of looking like the theme of his next year. He was planning on doing Route 66. I think several other people planning on doing Route 66. I was already planning on doing Route 66 next year. Next year is the 100th anniversary of Route 66. So I will definitely do that, and definitely, my trip with Adam from Santa Monica to Chicago on Route 66 years ago, one of my favorite all-time trips, and one of the brightest memories that I will carry of Adam. And I'm sure every place I stop, I will be thinking of him and remembering you know, that first trip. It was that road trip, the Route 66 trip. It was the first time for both me and Adam to have done the whole trip together, you know, that we got to experience that together as friends. It's something I'll cherish forever. I've done it once since then, and then I'm planning on doing it next year for the 100th anniversary. As far as doing any other trips that Adam had planned, he was planning Highway 1. I actually did Highway 1 this year, so I think it's a little soon to redo that. I think he maybe had talked about the Lincoln Highway. It's been a few years. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago I did the Lincoln Highway. So I don't know. To me, like, Adam has left his imprint everywhere in this country, and you know, I feel like anywhere I go, I'm going to be thinking of him and thinking of, you know, times that he had visited there, you know, things that he liked to do when he was there. So to me, like, his spirit exists everywhere across this country, and now, you know, with the last year of international travel, you know, his spirit exists in other places too. And I will, you know, when going to England and to France, you know, obviously I'd probably be looking at his videos for inspiration for things to do, because I don't know anything about it, and he's the person that I would be talking to, you know, if he was still here. So, you know, I would love to, you know, honor him. I know he was really excited about that 250th anniversary of America. I know different celebrations. I need to do more research. I know a lot of the state fairs were doing celebrations. You know, I still, my state fair journey is still active. Unfortunately, I only have one state fair I need to visit, and that's Wyoming. Once I visit Wyoming, I'll visit every state fair. But I may look into revisiting some of the past state fairs. I'm going to see what they're doing for the 250th anniversary, and if there's anything, you know, noteworthy going on at some of the larger fairs, I may revisit them, you know, because of the celebration of the 250th anniversary of America, and because I knew what that meant to him. And I've been, you know, and speaking on this, I talked earlier about, I've had this tradition of doing like themed years. 2023 was the summer of carousels. I think I made 2022, retroactively made that the year of claw machines, because I played so many claw machines that year. So it was the year of claw machines, 2022, 2023, the summer of carousels, 2024, the year of press pennies, and 2025, the year of planes, trains, and automobiles. And I've been thinking different ideas, what's the theme for this year going to be? Is there something I'm going to? I thought about the year of photo booths, or I try getting a photo at every photo booth. I thought of different souvenirs, the building blocks. Maybe I'll collect all the building blocks as part of that. But I think I'm going to do something a little different this year. And in honor of Adam, I think 2026 is going to be the year of goodness, the year of reflecting on his legacy, the year of living with the skills that he taught me and the impact he made on people, the way he treated people, the way that he lived his life, you know, without making any excuses, without asking permission from anyone, but at the same time just exuding positive energy, you know, not letting negativity get me down, but live like him, where he's able to ignore it, able to live a full life, and to take things a little slower. I think I've talked about that, where he had a way about him. He didn't rush all over the place like me. He learned to live this full life, but live it more deliberately. I think that's a good way to put it. He lived deliberately, as they would say in Hawaii, which he loved and he visited. It's the spirit of aloha, of not stressing, not rushing, taking things as they come, accepting things. These are all things I have problems with that I admire about him. So in a way, 2026, the year of goodness, the circle of goodness, participating in that transfer of positive energy, putting out good things into the world, and doing so in a way that honors the legacy of Adam the Woo. 2026, the year of goodness. So right now, much like I felt that I needed to come down here to Florida, I think the right decision right now is to go home. I'm going to drive a little bit tonight. I got an idea of something I want to do tomorrow to celebrate the new year, New Year's Eve. Jen, of course, had offered to come down with me, but she had doctor's appointments, and I didn't want her to miss out on them. So I told her, no, please. I want you to focus on your health, and I'm gonna do what I need to do down in Florida. And Jen's always so supportive and always so encouraging and willing to just let me do what I need to do. So she is home. She had a tooth pulled out today, which is no fun. I didn't want her to have to miss out on that, because it was very important that she got that taken care of. She's going to try to meet me somewhere tomorrow for New Year's Eve, but that just depends on how she feels when she wakes up tomorrow. And so the idea, normally I take off the first week of January. The reason is YouTube, the money drops. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's not about money. But beginning of the year, I don't get too deep into it, but the advertisers spent a lot for the Christmas season. So once January 1st hits, it gets harder on YouTube. I'm fine. People have offered to help me with things, offered to send me money. I don't need money. I am very comfortable with my situation. I make enough money to meet all my needs. I make enough money to pay my bills. I make enough money to send my daughter to college. I'm not hurting for money. No one needs to worry about that. But at the beginning of January, the ads dip so far down on YouTube that it's difficult to make money, difficult to justify. It's difficult to even justify going out and traveling or filming things. So I usually take a week off or so. It's also good to just give myself that recharge to start the next year. So I'm planning on going home. I have a couple of doctor's appointments. I'm supposed to have like labs done. They draw my blood and everything on the 2nd. I know, given the circumstances, a lot of people saying, make sure you go to the doctor. I go to the doctor. I go to a checkup every 6 months. I'm going to get my blood drawn on the 2nd. I was willing to move that around, but I'm here. I can do it. So I'm going to go back home, get my blood drawn on the 2nd. There's a follow-up a week later with a proper doctor's appointment. So I'm plan is to go home, maybe take care of some things at home, and then if I hear word about the memorial or anything happening down here, or just I feel compelled to come back here, then I will. 8 hours away, 8-9 hours away, so I can always get here in a day. It takes a day to get here, so you know, I'm willing to drop everything and turn around and come back down here if that's either what needs to happen or if it's just what I feel I need. So I may turn around, come back here. It's actually, we were leaving. The cruise ship is supposed to leave, you know, from Florida. So I was planning on coming to Florida, anyways. Here in a week and a half, I guess. So we'll see. I have to reschedule that doctor's appointment, but the plan is that's the plan. Plan on going home, taking care of what needs to be done, coming back here if I need to come back down here, and then we will start moving forward with this 2026, the year of goodness. It's been an absolute roller coaster. I am purely exhausted, but I'm gonna do some driving. I'm gonna drive a few hours towards home tonight and tomorrow as well. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing me your support, and until next time, this one's in the bag.